probably it's not going to change it hugely in the sense that Nicolas Maduro is a die-hard leftist and a die-hard Chavez, who himself was foreign minister from 2006, and as we've heard in our programs, was one of the key links between Venezuela and Cuba. I suppose that Chavez's personality and charisma will be missed in those countries that appreciated the Bolivarian revolution most. That is obviously Cuba, Ecuador and Bolivia, and perhaps that charisma is also something that allowed Chavez to reach out to more centrist states like Brazil under Lula da Silva, the former leader of Brazil. So perhaps the force of personality is really the key thing that went some way towards uniting Latin America. But of course, in terms of actual policy and outlook, Nicolas Maduro is really not different from Chavez. It's simply that he doesn't have that force of perhaps unifying people who are not just natural allies on the left of the spectrum, but perhaps bringing together closer people who are more centrist and would diverge more from Chavez.
Okay, we heard our Washington correspondent Phil Crowther talk earlier about the United States' reaction to President Hugo Chavez's death. How can we expect his passing away to affect other countries, for example, his close ally Iran?
Again, to go back to Nicolas Maduro, who is interim president and might become the elected president in 30 days. He, as I said, was foreign minister from 2006 and was a key, played a key role in developing ties with Russia and China, and particularly the China pivot is crucial. China-Venezuelan trade is now worth $20 billion, and the Chinese are literally building oil platforms in Venezuela. That is something that Washington is very worried about, and obviously Washington would like to have some influence now that Chavez is gone. I think it's unlikely that they'll see a change with Nicolas Maduro. We saw just on the eve of Chavez's death, Maduro expelling a US diplomat. Now, of course, hard to say how much of that has to do with sort of showing that he's boss and being firm and stamping his identity on the country. But at the same time, I think, as I said, he's also genuinely ideologically committed to what Chavez was doing, and therefore I wouldn't expect any change, particularly in relations with the United States, nor with the pivot towards China, nor with close ties to Iran and Russia. Of course, we'll have to see what happens with Iran, because that's going under a very different sort of dynamic in the Middle East right now anyway.